How may I How may I How may I help you?
What do you want of me? I did not choose to live on this island for its ambience. I chose it so I wouldn't have to entertain fools. Leave me be. That is quite the fool's journey just to find someone's dead body. I'm afraid to ask, but whose grave would you be looking for? Of course. Searching for the great Nasruddin. Ha! The great Nasruddin. What was so great about him?
What? How dare you, old man? Do you have any idea who you're talking about? Nasruddin was the wisest and most benevolent elf in the history of Arcanum. He saved us all.
Oh? And you think you know about Nasruddin, young man? Who are you to tell me about that old worthless elf?
Worthless? What I ought to... No.
Oh, of course you don't have to defend him, young man. The old elf was completely incorrigible. There's no defense whatsoever.
You're testing my patience, old man.
Virgil, perhaps you ought to keep your voice down with our new friend here.
Ah, now there's the voice of reason. And from such a beautiful young elf. You know, in my younger days, I knew a girl who looked a lot like you. She had the most wonderful name. Let me see, what was it? I suppose it would translate to something like this.
Yes, I also know someone like that. She used to tell me about a great man she once knew. She told me that he taught her a great many things. That he was much like her own father.
Ah, yes. Make sure to pass on my greetings to your mother. She was such a wonderful child. And it seems she has a wonderful daughter as well. Greetings,
I will pass on your greetings to her. It will make her very happy to know you are here among us. Greetings, Nasruddin.
I would say in all my glory, but I'm afraid I haven't any left. No. I delivered the world to Aranax. I put in place the system that he felt was his for the taking. I even imparted my elven arrogance to him. I must bear full responsibility for his action. You do not understand. He was my son. I taught him everything. Only to see him be carried away by his youthful temper. I should have seen it. There must have been a way to stop him before it came to what it did. It started in the Age of Legends. I was young, headstrong. I thought I could take on the world, and I did. I fought the good fight to protect the lesser races, as I arrogantly called them, from the chaos that raged everywhere. Dragons, demons, evil sorcerers, I fought them all and won. I gathered a group of idealistic mages together, and we created an elven council, for the good of all. We really believed that. For a time, I suppose it was even true. I really believe things began to change when we discovered a way to banish things from this plane of existence. It was the ultimate weapon. Once something was banished from this plane of existence, it could never return. With ultimate power comes ultimate responsibility, and ultimate corruption. We were quick to use it on new and ever more terrible threats, the bait. Sometime during all this heroic carnage, my son came of age. I quickly ushered him into the council, amidst some of the others' protest about his young age and inexperience. And then it all came crashing down upon me. Look, are you certain you really want to hear all this self-pitying drivel? He felt himself betrayed when the council condemned his actions. He showed no remorse. In his arrogance, he was sure he would be vindicated. I cast the deciding vote to banish my own son. If I must die, I will be the last, he screamed as he hurled the spell that brought an end to the council, the Age of Legends, and my will to live. It was a harsh dawn that morning on the plains of Brodgar, and it was there in the shadow of the Black Spire that our armies met in the most terrible battle that Arcanum has ever seen. As the sun set, only 4 of us were still alive to witness the destruction we had brought to pass. I found Aranax among the corpses of our decimated armies, and it was there that I condemned my own son to the void. It was only through our combined might that Aranax was subdued, and I watched my own son fall into the horror of the void. But such was the fury and power unleashed by this conflict that the very fabric of reality was torn asunder. With our remaining energy, we were able to seal the rift with powerful wards, and the Ring of Brodgar still stands today as a monument to my son's destructive pride and my own unforgivable failure. When I regained consciousness, I was on the shore of Thanatos. I'd regained just enough energy to seal myself in a regenerative shell. I remained that way for 1,000 years. No one had ever stayed in a shell for anywhere near that amount of time. Somehow, my magical hibernation extended my life much beyond that of even the most powerful elven mages. The world out there is not mine. It only serves to remind me of my failure. Everyone I knew, everything I held dear is gone. I myself should... I'm well aware of the whole Panari tomfoolery, yes. When I emerged from my regenerative state, I traveled to the mainland. I suppose I thought I could somehow live among the world again. After I spoke with that Mannix fellow, I knew I was deluding myself. He did not know much. Mostly some fanciful notions mixed with bits and pieces of history. As near as I was able to put together from speaking with him, Kryn Urden, the last surviving member of the Council, started the Panari simply to maintain the wards, to periodically strengthen them, as it were. After I listened to his insane beliefs, or it seemed like ours, I hinted that I'd actually known Nasruddin. He was already too far gone. He would not have believed any of my protests or denials of my godhood. Yes, word of that eventually reached my ears. I can only assume that somehow he realized who I was and began talking about his visit. I feel as if I've been waiting to hear those words since I awoke those many years ago. I had hoped it would never come to this. From your tale, I can only surmise that the Black Mountain clan were banished to the void to construct some sort of technological device to nullify the war. Why, Aranax? Why can't you see the folly of the path you've chosen? What are you going to do about this situation? I fear there is nothing I can do. I am old, tired. I do not believe I could stand up against my son now, even if I could find the heart to try. We do not know what life in the void is like, if it can be even called life. Who knows? I can think of only one possible strategy to defeat him now. You must retrieve the Vendigroth device that was meant to destroy him. And so it was, above ground. There are many catacombs and tunnels lying beneath the surface. Some of the members attempted to retrieve it to use against Aranax, but they never returned. We were forced to battle him without it, and you know the consequence of that. Extremely powerful mages have the ability to regenerate themselves whenever they are badly hurt, as I did. If one is powerful enough to hurt a master sorcerer gravely, the mage will retreat into his regenerative shell and emerge stronger than ever. The device is the only way known to disrupt the regenerating shield. Quite so. The technology of the device is designed to disrupt the field in such a way as to cause the shell to drain the life force instead of regenerating it. Quite gruesome to contemplate, actually. Further, it is said that one who is killed in this manner is forever separated from this world, with no chance of being returned magically or otherwise. You must search the ruins of Vendigroth in the wastes where the city once lay. I do not know exactly. Those days are long past, and with them a better part of my memory, I'm afraid. All I know is that at one point Vendigroth and its settlements spread out over that whole area now known as the Wastes. There was a bridge leading into the Vendigroth province. Here.
How may I? How may I?